Welcome back to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt. We are going to dive deep into a bottle of whiskey that I've been looking forward to for so long. And by so long, I mean as long as I can remember. Probably about a year or less. Let's rewind about a year ago. I went to the grocery store and they had liquor on clearance. And one of those bottles on clearance was Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye Whiskey. I bought it because it was dirt cheap. It was like $20 and it's usually like $55. And I was like, let's friggin' do it. So I bought it and I tried it and I was like, that's pretty good. But you know what would be better is if it were at cask strength. That's what I said. And then I told other people the same thing. And they were like, you were right. We're in agreement. Then come to find out that the buggers over at Jack Daniel's released something called the Tennessee Taster. And it was a little like 200 milliliter bottle of like experimental stuff they had going on. And one of those was a Barrel Proof Rye whiskey. And I got a sample of that and I was like, good grief, that's fantastic. I must have more of this. And Jack Daniel's was like, we hear you, Matt. We hear you. Even though they never heard of me. We're going to make 2020 a little bit better, said Jack Daniel's. We are going to release a special edition barrel strength rye whiskey. Shout out to the bourbillionaires themselves, Dan and Julie L, for this Christmas present I'm about to talk about. We're tasting Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Special Release Tennessee Rye Whiskey that's uniquely crafted in handmade barrels. It's a barrel proof rye whiskey and it's 130.6 proof. This son of a bitch is one glorious, magnificent son of a bitch. Lynchburg, Tennessee, barrel number 20-06875. That's my lucky number. Before I go into more detail about what the heck is going on here, I need to release some of this special release. This Patreon Cork Pop shout out goes to a man with a super common name, maybe the most common name on the planet. I don't know John very well at all, but I do know that he knows me at least a little bit, enough to become a patron, and he is just the best, the brightest of colors. If he could color himself, it would be the brightest, most beautiful colors. And I bet you he could color himself. I bet you he can, because his name is John Cran. John Cran, thank you so much for your support. This special release celebrates the early craftsmanship of the Jack Daniel Distillery. Bottled in its singular form straight from the barrel, uncut at full proof. It's a beautiful bottle. I love the shape of this bottle. If you don't read the hanging tag, then do you even like whiskey? Looks like a little bit of a paragraph here. Master distiller Jeff Arnett and his team of whiskey makers created a special release to honor that history of American whiskey when it was often high in rye content and offered at barrel strength. Sounds delicious. Maturing at the highest reaches of Barrel House 1-02, has delivered a deep copper hue, I was going to say that, with a nose that opens to an aroma, and I think it's about to talk about tasting notes, but we're not going to look at those, because I think that's where this is headed, and I stopped right there. Am I even doing my job if I read tasting and nosing notes before I taste and nose it? I don't think so. I would never do it. I would never do it. Obviously we gotta swirl it. We gotta spin it. We gotta twirl it. We gotta shake it. We gotta shake its badonkadonk. We gotta get it grooving on the dance floor. Okay. Right off the bat, you're getting vanilla extract, and there is a very buttery rye toast, like the perfectly cooked toast, the perfectly toasted toast with the best creamy butter just slathered on it. A little bit of dates and vanilla extract, some dark fruits coming through pretty hard, cinnamon and clove are very apparent. Grape bubblegum. Bubblicious. Or is it bubble yum? Bubblicious for sure. Definitely bubblicious grape bubblegum. That nose is phenomenal. Crazy, crazy good nose. A great nose. And the color is so dark. Beautiful nose, beautiful color, beautiful bottle down the hatch. What the heck? Good grief. That is like an atomic nuclear. It's like a radioactive orange sherbet, ice cream, ridiculously spicy orange sherbet, and it is so good. Damn sauce, what the heck? Going back to the nose now. Going back to the nose, and I'm picking up more spiciness. The clove is really jumping out now. This is remarkable. It is a remarkable whiskey. Major props to Jack Daniels here for this. I think I've seen this bottle for between like 65 and 80 bucks. Realistically, probably about $100 rye whiskey. For show. Oh man, the nose is good for shows. I love it. The orange citrus, and then it kind of curves off into a grape bubblegum, and then kind of finishes up on the back end with some barrel tannins that I typically get from Jack Daniels products, and it is like red fruits left on the palate. So good. Like a little strawberry on a rye whiskey. What the heck? This needs to be a staple. This needs to be something that everybody can just go buy. Like their Barrel Proof Tennessee whiskey, like their Jack Daniels single barrel proof Tennessee whiskey is available everywhere. So this needs to be the same way. This needs to be on every shelf, everywhere, if it's possible, because tremendous and delicious and wonderful and good. If you're into barrel strength whiskeys and enjoy a good rye that's not too spicy and too dilly, I would say this is a definite buy. If you're into that kind of thing, it's a definite buy for show. And my name is Matt, and this was my show. This is ADHD Whiskey. And like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on thinking about how companies make products you like, but they could make them better. And you dream about it. And you tell everybody about it. And then they dream about it. And then before you know it, it's in your hand. And you are like, thank you for doing exactly what I told you to do, even though you never knew I existed. But it feels like they did this for me. And that feels good. It feels really good.